Good evening, I'm Dan Rather, and tonight on CBS News.
In a shocking development, the federal government says being broke is allowed, but if you're broke and glowing, you are officially now a suspect. You can't be glowing more than your financial status. Look your problem.
Producers have confirmed next season of Love Island will merge with the Hunger Games. Only one couple will survive the new format. Everyone else dies.
Senator Buck Nutley has unveiled his Big Girthy bill, a new proposal meant to rival the Big Beautiful bill. But does size really matter?
The shocking trend of Labubu violation continues as more and more people are finding their dolls' holes stretched wide open and reeking of shame.
If you thought Bigfoot was bad, wait till you meet his gooey cousin. A kumsquatch was just spotted in Dongwood National Forest.
Did you know IKEA has released a home glory hole kit called the Fuke Hole? It includes pre-drilled panels, mounting brackets, and a stain-proof finish. We begin with breaking news out of Massachusetts, where residents are reeling from what scientists are calling a cum-comet impact.
Officials are asking everyone to stay indoors and to wear N95 masks in case of cum aerolization.
We have breaking news. A laser-guided ship missile has just been launched from Rectomopolis, reportedly targeting Pennsylvania.
We're live from the scene where a laser-guided ship missile launched from Rectomopolis has struck Pennsylvania. This just in, a pubnadal blankets St. Louis in a thick bush this evening.
Downtown is completely covered in pubic hair, causing highways to close out of caution.
It's coming right for us. We need to get out of here now. Oh my God, it's taking the houses. A massive gizzard has buried Kamlambus in 2 feet of donglode. Locals blame the lack of preparation on Mayor Linda P. Slurp.
The city of Columbus is reeling today after an unprecedented event. What officials are calling a gizzard has left downtown streets. Customs officials at Orbital Port 69 have seized over 420 stolen jork blades, many still warm and dripping. A magnitude 6.9 queefquake rattled Clamlip Valley this morning, releasing a torrent of pussy farts. The children's reading session of This Little Piggy Got Pegged has been cancelled, with parents saying the book is too anatomically detailed for kids.
Lawmakers remain deadlocked on the Big Beautiful bill, with some saying $10 billion more is needed for fleshlights and robo-cooters for dudes on dry spells.
Los Angeles, because she served her fried chicken instead of a quinoa salad. Megan Mayonnaise went to the restaurant called The Last Supper, where she claimed she was flabbergasted that they would serve her fried chicken when she in fact ordered a quinoa salad. Ms. Mayonnaise said waitress Shxxter Trinity knowingly gave her fried chicken, although Ms. Mayonnaise pleaded that she didn't want to eat any urban food. We have Ms. Mayonnaise along with her attorney, Roger Bangher. Can you explain how you were feeling, Ms. Mayonnaise?
I told Shxxter Trinity 300 times, let me speak with your manager. And she just kept twerking, sticking her tongue out and laughing at me.
We have exclusive CCTV footage from the restaurant of Miss Mayonnaise and Shxxter's fried chicken confrontation.
Ms. Mayonnaise is suing Shxxter Trinity for everything she got, which is 3 deadbeat fathers and $100 in unpaid child support.
We need your $80,000 down payment now.
Can I do 6 child support checks, 1 EBT card, 10 Section 8 credits, and 2 Medicaid payments?
We take it all.
Welcome back to White News Network. I'm your host, Kimberly Kumquat. Today, the BFI released documents that claim no special files exist from that one famous island. Wink, wink. BFI director said, quote unquote, although you've seen plenty of known people at that island, no American people, you were just seeing shit. The BFI office also released perfectly edited 24-hour surveillance footage of that jail cell where the main guy in charge was being held. At this point, these guys are playing in our face. Most of you are too blind to see it.
Welcome back, folks, to the White News Network. I'm your host, Tom Blandley, and tonight a white woman is leaving her husband after trying a YN.
HOA President Skylar White told WNN she is filing for divorce because, quote unquote, after trying a YN, you never go back. Her husband, Kevin White, owner of Proud Boys Country Club, says he is devastated by the news and that it is, quote unquote, total malarkey. The divorce hearing is set for July 13th at Cornbread District Family Court. If Mrs. White wins, she will be entitled to half of his shit that she never worked for. Next up, rock star Roger Bang-Her has already impregnated 3 women on his Fuckfest tour. But first, a word from our sponsor.
Want to do some totally unnecessary shit like mountain jump with a fly suit on, then head over to whitepeopleshit.com.
Whitepeopleshit.com.
Swim with sharks, it's a blast. Make memories that last.
Whitepeopleshit.com.
Tried coochie back in 76. It was a phase, but it was a good one.
Sweetie, we was all bumping uglies all summer. Bitch, please, you ain't even got the most baby daddies on this block.
I got 5 kids and 6 baby daddies. Figure that shit out.
These old bitches in here be ready to smash every damn night. We out here clapping checks nightly, bro.
They used to call me the throat goat. They still call you that around here.
I got a tongue like a treadmill, baby. I don't get tired. That's cute. Mine got her tapping out like bingo night. Ask your wife.
Sweetie, can you run to 7-Eleven right quick and get me some KY?
Make it 2 bottles. The Lord been generous this week.
Yeah, bitch, he said he was just buying me lunch, and then I left with a limp.
Good thing he didn't dislocate that hip again. He said,
Hey, what up, what up, what up? Mic check, we sound good. All right, we in the building. Let's do the news. Quiet Storm got jokes. See what was that? StreamYard 1, Machismo TV 0. No, I came correct this time. I was back there making sure everything was right. Yeah, let's nerd out. I actually got a by the numbers segment tonight. I didn't check Rasmussen, but I got some midterms is coming up, so Saul want me to talk about swing states because that's the main thing that's going to drag the swing term. So I got a simulation for Pennsylvania, more than likely holding red. There's all these new I'm finding all these new channels doing all these like election simulations and numbers stuff. So we in the build we gonna be in the business for all these by the number segments. So we in the building. What up, chat, man? No news. I seen you up in here early, brother Zeke. All right, let's do it. Kwame Kaiju in the building. All right, so we got Kwame and Quiet Storm here. All right, so we definitely gonna do by the numbers. And I'll double check and see if Rasmussen got a new number set. All right, yeah, we're gonna nerd out toward the end. Yeah, I got the Obsidian clip and a ton of news articles and an AI clip on WhatsApp. All right, bet. I actually pulled for tonight's show. I'm using two of your news clips you sent me, and I posted. You seen I posted your Trump John. What you call it? And your other Trump joint you posted. We got some hater comments on that on one of them joints that you sent me in the comments. People was like, "Oh, y'all promote a lot of white stuff over here." Like, what type of comment is that? Oh man, we promote Trump just policy. Oh man, we get some haters from a couple of a couple of your posts. It's funny. We always get like a random hater. What are you guys, a bunch of conservatives over here? It's not that serious, oh boy. We're gonna start this one off at the top of the hour because this is breaking today. Welcome to Democratic Cities, yo. We mass shooter in New York, and I just want to cover some of this. I just want to play some of it out for the public record. And they got a photo of the guy. I guess it was a closed circuit television. Yo, boy is dressed regular, walking around. It looked like an AK, but it was an assault rifle with sunglasses on, a blazer. He just walked right into the corporate building on some casual shit and just started opening. Yeah, bro. Welcome to Democratic Cities, bro. Y'all are getting what y'all voted for. Y'all about to vote, trying to vote an Islamic communist in. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Let's turn my volume up. Let's get busy.
As this is Skyfox aerials that are happening right now as they are taking a deep look here at this car. And we'll take you now out live to more of the ground that we are getting these images in. We have this shot here as well for you, just showing you the huge police presence that continues right now out in New York. Thanks to all our viewers for continuing to watch with us here worldwide. All right, everyone, it looks like more Fox 5 coverage is happening, so let's go back out to more right here on Live Now from Fox.
Street with an AR-15 along his side. So at this point, NYPD tells us that the scene has been contained and the shooter has been neutralized, but it is still a very active scene out there. A lot of police presence. A lot of the area has been shut down. We've got a number of reporters on the scene as well. Linda Schmidt, Kendall Green.
Facts, no news. Yeah, the criminals are running the prison of the Democratic cities. That's what I said. Y'all getting what y'all voting for. It's no coincidence. All the crimes out of control and all these in New York, bro. These Democrats then ran this city into the ground. It's looking more and more like Escape from New York from the 80s. Remember that movie?
Who've been reporting and grabbing some witnesses to talk about what they're saying. One person telling us that they heard gunshots popping. They also.
Oh, you went and check. Wait. So you went and checked the comments on Quiet Storm? You seen it? I put the laughing emojis under it because they was triggered. Every time somebody leave a joint like that, I just laugh at him in the comments. He said I just roasted the hater on that comment. Yeah. When we get goofies in the comments, man, let them have it, especially on the videos.
They also saw that shooter walking into the building with an AR-15. This is a look from Skyfox right now, live over the scene. Officers look to be searching a vehicle. It's a very, very active scene. We're kind of getting all the details right now. Still a very large police presence. Well, what we do know is 2 people have been shot, at least 2 people, including a police officer. And this has sparked a massive police presence. We know that this is a very busy area in terms of commercial businesses, big hedge funds, law firms, banks. You think about this around 610 with this all unfolding.
Yeah, I think this is Midtown Manhattan. That's crazy. Financial district.
Towards the end of the workday, and there's a big MTA station in the area as well, 53rd and Lex. People at the end of their day heading home. So this sparked a shelter in place for a lot of the businesses in that building. One person who we talked to said that he was evacuated for 30 to 45 minutes. So as you can imagine, a very scary ordeal with people hearing gunshots, with people even seeing the shooter walking in with an AR-15. Let's get out to Kendall Green, who is live in that area. Kendall, it's still.
Word? You say, you can make video responses to comments on your posts? I made a few shorts out of them. Really? All right, I need to figure out how to do that. That's actually a good idea. Yo, I'm about to say this too. Yo, every time it's like a shoot or something, they 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 got the black boy reporter on the scene on the scene every time. Or every time it's like some sort of like supernatural disaster or something, it'd be like the black boy reporter on the ground, like, yeah, it's pretty rough out here.
A very active scene behind you. What can you tell us?
Yeah, hey, good evening, Natasha. We're here along Park and 54th. I'm just going to give you a look right now. You see a bunch of people. They were inside a building that's pretty close to where everything unfolded. They're now being evacuated. Several folks in that situation who were working in this building at the time, they tell me they were told to be in a shelter in place because that was an active shooting going on. And I talked to a few people out here that are waiting for loved ones, just wanting to make sure that they're okay. But one of the witnesses we spoke with earlier, he said he was in a corner building that's about maybe a block over, just from the corner from where this all happened. And one of the managers or law enforcement, they told him that they needed to be in place. And he looked outside from, I think, the 30th floor, he recalled, and he saw the danger inside. But as AP has reported, at least 2 people, including New York police officers, were shot on Monday at Midtown office building that houses some of the country's top financial firms and National Football League. That includes the National Football League. And police haven't immediately identified any victims, but we spoke with one of the witnesses here who says he saw some of those victims that were in.
Yeah, there go old boy right there. Yeah, yeah, I guess it is an AR style weapon. Yeah, that's not an AK. Well, maybe it is. It's blurry. Bro, look at boy walk. Yo, he walking super casual. Yo, look at old boy. Yo, he just walked up into that joint super casual. Yeah, like Grand Theft Auto. That's crazy. Yo, in the middle of Midtown Manhattan, bro. He just walked up in the building and start shooting.
Black BMW, I believe Skyfox had some shots of that actual car, but he said he saw they didn't appear to be alive at the time when he saw.
They said he pulled up in a black BMW. Yeah, this is some Grand Theft Auto shit.
For this shooting, he said about maybe early once the shooting happened, he heard saw about 5 officers.
Yeah, you said looking like Robert De Niro in that one movie. Yeah, this looking like a scene out of Heat. Yo, I ain't trying to cap up a mass shooting, but yo, this some cold shit, bro. Bro walking around like he ain't got a care in the world. Like, he walking in there like, yo, they thought I was playing. Oh, they thought I was playing, huh? This is crazy. Yo, we really living in a movie, bro, in clown world, too.
And then from there, this is the scene you have. Dozens, I mean, you maybe even say hundreds are out here lining Park Avenue. And this is with a bunch of businesses, banks, firms, and like I said, including the NFL. And we spoke to some of those witnesses who just really honestly couldn't believe what they saw here being this close to Park Avenue, here in Midtown, busy side of New York, police presence in this area, unlike anything they've ever seen before, Natasha.
Yeah, Kendall, I just can't get over that picture that we're showing of that suspect. He just seems to be walking with such purpose, striding, and he looked like he was wearing a business suit with sunglasses, just walking into this very busy area. Look at that. And you can see the AR-15. It's just unbelievable. All those people around him, too. What's your take? What's I guess, are there still people out there just in shock?
Yeah, I'll show you. We want to show you some of the folks. If you look in this area, you can see folks are lining this sidewalk where police have moved us back, and some of them have been looking at pictures of that suspect, and they've been standing here just basically in awe, like in shock of what they saw. This is an AR-15, as you described, walking into a building like that. So, of course, there's a lot of shock here, a lot of worry, because it's unlike anything they've ever seen. But, yeah, they've been here. Some of them
them have been here for the last hour, an hour and a half since this stuff unfolded. And, you know, they told me they couldn't believe this was happening.
What do we know about that black BMW you mentioned? Because we do have video from Sky Fox showing police appear to be taking things out of the car, looking at the car. What are you hearing about this vehicle that police are searching?
Yeah, this is according to witnesses, not anything confirmed by police so far. But one of the individuals that we spoke with, he said that he saw those individuals after the shooting he said they weren't in. They didn't appear to be alive. And he said that there was also maybe an attempted bank robbery in that area, and that may have been the start of it. So we're not sure how, if that's the exact connection here, but he told me that was a bank robbery in the area. And when he saw that those people were there, he assumed that those were the perpetrators involved with that shooting so far.
Yeah, it's really interesting because people were hearing the gunshots and bank robbery. And again, we're getting all this information in drips and drabs, but we're also hearing from sources that the shooter shot himself on the 33rd floor. So you have to imagine that he was in the building for some bit. Are you hearing anything about that, Kendall?
Oh, I didn't know he took himself out. I thought he got. I thought he got away. I found out about this before we went on. I've been working all day, so I didn't get online until late. So I started putting stuff together for the show. I was checking WhatsApp to see what Quiet Storm sent me, and then I pulled up the Fox page and the Newsmax page. I'm like, what? There's a mass shooting in New York? No News said, I don't know why they shocked. It's a common occurrence where weapons are highly regulated. Facts. I don't know if it's confirmed. If Bull topped himself off, all right. But I had heard initially that he got away. They didn't know where he was. Oh, I just seen this. Quiet Storm with the $5 super chat. He said Keisha waiting for him to get his sentence so they can marry him. They buying their wedding dresses as I type this. Yo, that's a whole fact though, and I'm glad you brought that up because that's going to be a good segue. Since we got most of the people in the house, we're going to jump to the 300. That's the poll I got in the chat. The 300K black women losing their jobs this quarter, and now them being the highest demographic of unemployment going currently. So we're gonna do that one next because I thought that it wasn't getting no coverage, but it's starting to come around. So we're gonna do a piece of that. So, but in the meantime, I believe a drop is in order.
Man, fuck all you hoes. Fuck you and your mammy and your granny too. And fuck all you hoes. I'm sick of this shit. Fuck all you hoes. And fuck all you. Don't give a damn, bitch, what you wanna do. And fuck all you hoes.
All right, Jakifa KFC Ida. I heard you're looking for a new car today.
You know your girl needs a new ride.
Well, we do not accept EBT, so get the fuck out.
All right. Let me see what I got in the chat. Oh, Play Perry in the building. What up, big? What up, Playboy? No News says facts. They about to use Afterpay to get a new wig. Y'all niggas stupid. Yo, Afterpay for the wig. Yo, as funny as that is, that is not far-fetched at all. I bet you they buying wigs with Klarna and shit. No News, 300K jobs lost. I see 300K potential crash outs coming soon. Yo, that's a whole fact though. We've been what do you call it? AC been covering them stories, and we covered one last night on the Sunday show. Keisha's is out here taking dudes out, murking them right now, murking them, and it's not getting no press coverage. Irvin Reed with the $5 super chat. He said, "Not so tinfoil. I can blame CERN. Ain't no way the old timeline I grew up in ain't gone. All this life imitating digital art. Man, I'm cool. Yeah. Listen, man, I'm so glad we got this space for men in general, black men in particular. But I think we are collectively keeping each other sane because the rest of the world's going batshit crazy.
Man, fuck all you hoes. Fuck you and your mammy and your granny too. I'm sick of this shit. Fuck all you hoes. Don't give a damn, bitch, what you wanna do.
All right, bet. Let's what do we got? What do we got? Storm says it's 300K now. I predict another 400K jobs going before the end of the year. I will concur with that. And when we get into the segment, I'm going to do a lot of stop and pausing because I want to hit on a couple things. And a lot of it is because it's the Keisha Industrial Complex. It's being defunded. They held a lot of non-essential jobs to the economy, to the bottom line of the economy. They were subsidized jobs. Now, if we just look at our brothers in the trades and everything, plumbers, truckers, construction, all that, those are essential workers. Can't hold the infrastructure together without these guys. Do you know what I'm saying? We could live without HR and DEI directors, and they're scraping the education board of education and all that as well. Listen, man. Spoiler. Like one of the statements made in the Keisha's losing the job segment we're going to play is that the education segment of the economy, which Trump has slashed extensively, is responsible for a significant number of a portion of employment for the Keishas, right? That being the case, if they are over and highly represented in the education, let's say public education, etc., why can't none of the goddamn kids read? You understand what I'm saying? Them getting cut from all that, we're not losing nothing. The kids can't read anyway. Quiet Storm says AC did a compilation on the Keisha deletions tonight. Ooh, okay, I'm gonna check that out. Yeah, it was sickening to see so many good brothers taken out because hyenas can't handle rejection. Yo, bro. And the thing is that gets no press and no airplay. Yeah, shout out to AC. That's why AC's channel is important. They be saying it's a stream, but we need somebody to carry the hard line. We need somebody to carry the hard. Here's the thing: we need somebody to push the hard line. Why? Because if someone pushes the hard line, it will autocorrect itself. You understand what I'm saying? Everything pushed to the hard line, but what's going to happen is you're going to have dispersion from a social interaction standpoint, as everything as the pendulum swings to the hard line. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that doesn't mean you're going to get 100% black men pushing a hard line, but you're going to push them closer in that direction. And then it's about conversion rates. You know what I'm saying? We get 20-30% of them. That's a win. As opposed to this middle ground shit, and we get a higher conversion rate of brothers still taking L's. You know what I'm saying? It's just simple math, bro. Irvin Reed says, $2 super chat. F all you hoes, back Guano 304s. Yeah, man. This one for the AC compilation.
Man, fuck all you hoes. Fuck you and your mammy and your granny too. I'm sick of this shit. Fuck all you hoes. Don't give a damn, bitch, what you wanna do.
All right, cool. Let's play a little bit more of this New York shooter thing, and then like, all right, fuck, screw it. We all warmed up. We'll jump right into the 300K. Keisha's losing their gigs because it's starting to get some traction, mainly because Keisha's are flipping out on social media about it.
Yeah, we don't know about how long the shooter was inside, but we did see some of the people that were standing here on the side worried about their loved ones because they they work here close to where everything was happening. So if he was there in that same building, I couldn't imagine having a family member inside or worried about whether they're safe or if they're going to be okay with something like this going on.
Yeah, such a scary situation. We even talked to Matt Onimus, one of our Fox employees who was walking home trying to grab a train from Grand Central, and he said he just saw police officers rushing down the street, some of them with machine guns. So, and this is a very, very busy area. Behind you, what seems to be the perimeter in terms of police presence?
It's got to be at least, I'm here on 54th, it's got to be at least 3 to 5 blocks here along Park Avenue. So 54th Street, East 54th Street. This scene basically spans a couple of blocks. It looks like all the way to, it's all the way to 55, 56, a little further up, further down, I'm sorry. But yeah, it's just laid with a bunch of police, laid with ambulance, laid with the...
I was making jokes in the beginning because it is true. Like when it's like shootings, like a dangerous, natural disaster or something, all of a sudden you be seeing all these black male reporters on the scene. And I was making a joke in the beginning, but to their credit, normally these dudes on the ground be good. Like this dude's doing a good job. Like these dudes be good. My man doing his thing. Giving a play-by-play, a blow-by-blow, and he show up good on camera.
Law enforcement here, just trying to keep a hold on the matter right now.
Yeah, quite the active scene there, Kendall. And I do want to say, for those of you watching right now, we did get an update from NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch saying that the scene has been contained, the lone shooter has been neutralized. So whether this is an active scene in terms of a crime scene, this is what they're working on right now. And that's why it's still advisable to just stay away from that area. Heavy police presence in the area of 52nd and Park Avenue, 52nd between Park and Lexington. Very active scene right now.
I'm from the East Coast. I lived in New York, bro. 52nd and Park Avenue, a dude getting busy with an AR is crazy in New York, bro. 53rd or 52nd in Park Avenue, just like Midtown / Upper East Side, bro. That's a big deal. That's where the money's at. You know what I'm saying? AR action up in there, like, bro, that's unheard of.
Oh, this is a look from Skyfox. We keep hearing about a black BMW that was involved in this. We're still hearing information, but as we pull out here, you can see just how big of an area this is, and that this is just essentially a pavilion, home to a number of hedge funds, law firms, banks, a lot of people, hundreds of employees in that area who were sheltering in place when they heard about an active shooter situation. This happening at the end of the workday on a Monday, so very busy, and then people. We've heard witnesses say that they heard gun pops, and then we have a picture of the suspect as well, who this picture truly just unbelievable of him just walking into this pavilion with an AR-15 just by his side, and you just have to wonder how he was able to get this far. It looks like he's just on a mission, and it's just a really scary situation to see in the middle of the day, 6:10, end of the day, work day for a lot of people, hundreds of people.
I'm gonna tell you this though, I am waiting there because it does appear to be a brother that looks like an afro, so I'm very interested in seeing what the narrative is going to be around this incident. Like the backstory, why he did it, what happened to him. I'm very interested in seeing how this plays out. I'm interested in seeing what the narrative is. and I'll wait till I hear what the narrative is before I form an opinion. Let's put it that way. Let's put it that way. Yeah, let's put it that way. Oh, Red Sigma with the $2 super chat. He said, I foresaw customer service jobs being automated 6 years ago. Oh yeah, you spot on with that. We've been talking that for a while down here. Keisha living in fantasy world thinking it can't happen, man.
Man, fuck all you hoes. Fuck you and your mammy and your granny too. Man, fuck all you hoes. I'm sick of this shit. Fuck all you hoes. Man, fuck all you. Don't give a damn, bitch, what you wanna do. Man, fuck all you hoes.
Ooh, let's see. Storm said, wait till hospitality jobs become fully automated. Just leave me and 3 big booty Marias. I got a special job for them all. Yeah, well, you know what? That's going to happen no matter what. Because these companies can't continue to take these L's with these bad Keisha customer service. And it's so bad that that's just become the common what do you call it? Like the common stereotype with customer service and Keishas. Irvin Reed said, "My man looking nervous trying to report." What's funny when I after I said, my man doing a good job, and then the chick started talking, and he was just in the camera. He was looking around. That's mad funny. My man looking nervous trying to report from the scene. Our natural instinct is to break camp if somebody start running. That's straight up. Red Sigma says, salute to the panel in the chat. Work watching. Dang, what you work night shifts, Sigma? What you on the East Coast or West Coast? If you're on East Coast, that's definitely night shift. I know I got a lot of the night shift guys. A lot of night shift guys. I got a lot of the truckers. What we got? Irvin says, so this is AOC Real Hood. No, bro, she from like nice upper Westchester, New York. And her real name is Sandy, bro. Like real shit, Sandy. She's country club. Sigma says, when it's a black man, it's labeled a mass pew pew. Brad, just get a pew pew. Just something I noticed. That as well, but I want to hear what I'm interested in what the backstory is with this. And like I said, if the dude took himself out or is being taken out, I'm just very interested in what the narrative is going to be. Just in light of the current political, what's going on, so much stuff be smoke and mirrors. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I'm gonna hold my opinion on this until the rest of this unravels. I'm very interested in seeing how it's going to be spun in the media and if I'll be able to distinguish what's factual and what's, you know what I'm saying? Notice BLM is now, still nowhere to be found, along with Ben Crump and Al Chicken Sharpton. Shout out to Judge Joe Brown. Oh yeah, well, Sharpton quaking in his boots because I believe Trump, the Justice Department is filing a lawsuit against him too. Oh yeah, for the money Kamala gave him for that interview. I ever said 2 different pics look like 2 different races. He said nursing will skyrocket again with the job layoffs. Oh yeah, they're gonna rush to it. I'm not the government jobs are bullshit. I look at them as subsidized. Healthcare is a lot of essential workers. So if the chicks were, although a lot of chicks is getting fake certifications, but if they work for them certifications, more power to them. Getting nursing. I'm not against that one. I mean, those are essential workers, but the majority of the jobs they were holding were not contributing to the bottom line of the economy. You know what I'm saying? All right. Well, speaking of which, man, let's just get after it then. This is a nice segue. Let's just let's boom boom boom. Okay, here we go. Let's get after it. And Black conservative perspective put this montage together. And like I said, sometimes these content creators be doing my job for me because they be having a nice montage of clips, and that is less editing for me to do. And I'm gonna be stopping a lot in on this joint because this segment is the gift that keeps giving. This he titled this one "Black Women Lash Out After 300K Lose Their Jobs Due to Federal Mass Layoffs and DEI Crackdown." And right off, he did me a solid with this. Right off the gate, we're gonna see all, at least as far as the men who are up in arms about these Keisha layoffs. What you see right here? Don't you see a old boomer nigga? Bro, we don't miss, cuz. We don't miss. It's the usual culprits. And whatchamacallit, we're gonna listen to the talking points. And I'm gonna be pausing because they be using this trick language. And bear in mind, none of this affects black men. And bear in mind, prior to the election, we was all talking like, all right, we need to start adjusting, making these infrastructure adjustments. So, because these Keishas out here talking about they don't need no man in this and this, and they more employed than us, and they doing better than us. You know, like I said, but they're subsidized by the government. So let's let some of this play out. So this month, data shows Trump's anti-DEI war is starting to drive up black female unemployment. We don't care because black male employment is up.
You've been lied to again. Some so-called pro-black voices, I like to call them pro-black imposters, told you that Trump's anti-DEI war wasn't really aimed at us, that it wasn't about us, because DEI only helped white women. Therefore, Trump's anti-DEI policies don't hurt black people. They were dead wrong. No, actually, they were lying to you intentionally. They were trying to excuse Trump's anti-blackness since they
Boomer talk.
Told you to vote for Trump or vote for the couch. And now black women are paying the price for that disinformation. So,
bingo. You got to listen to what he's saying. Black women are paying the price for it, not black men. And once again, like we've always said, DEI never benefited black men. We don't care about them cutting DEI. We wasn't getting nothing from it anyway. The two people that benefited the most were liberal white women at a higher clip, black women, and the rainbows. Black men ain't getting nothing out of this. So what do we care about DEI getting cut? We were saying that before the election. Now that DEI is getting cut, and bear in mind, where are these cuts being done? These unemployment numbers are the result of cuts of what? Federal jobs. And when were these federal jobs cut? After Doge. What was Doge jobs to do? To cut wasteful departments, jobs, positions, and spending in the federal government, and to cut out all these DEI programs. So if the Keishas ended up falling into the positions that were useful, that were useless and wasteful, non-essential in federal government, you see what I'm saying to you?
So let's start with the numbers. As of May 2025, black women's unemployment rate jumped to 5.8.
See that chart? You see how where it says black women, the arrow is up. You see where it says black men, the arrow going down? See that? So under the Trump administration so far, black men's unemployment has gone down. Black women's unemployment has gone up. And black men backed Trump's play. I bet you if Kamala had won, black men's unemployment would be going up and black women's unemployment would be going down.
That's higher than black men white men and white women. Meanwhile, Trump's anti-DEI purge led to a 33% drop in black women working.
Hey, who's this guy? Foundational Black American, aka Freedman. The Democratic Party is the enemy of the foundational Black American men. Well played, sir. I believe I have said that several times on the Sunday show. I've said that behind the scenes to Saul, and I've said that on the news desk. You get one of these. You goddamn right. Goddamn right.
Working in the federal government, the one sector where our community has real upward mobility. Now, regarding white women, their unemployment rate remained the same. It stayed.
What does that mean? What does that mean? You hear what he just said? So, if DEI has primarily benefited, by the numbers, liberal white women, but when they cut DEI programs, liberal white women's unemployment numbers don't go up, but Keisha's do. What does that mean? That the DEI jobs that the liberal white women got were, at least right now, part of essential infrastructure to the economy. The Keishas had the jobs that were fucking useless.
Flat. So yes, they benefited most from DEI, but they aren't the ones being targeted. Trump is using
They're not being targeted. The majority, those were federal jobs cut, and jobs in what? The Department of Education, and heavily entire DEI departments cut out. So we're talking about DEI departments slipped into government and companies filled with Keishas. Departments that do nothing.
The DEI rhetoric as cover to dismantle black careers, especially black women's careers.
Boy. So we gotta talk about.
Yeah, that's black conservative perspective, my guy George. I know he'd be over the top sometime, but generally, dollars to donuts, his political calls be right down the middle. I mean, and he'd be spot on. He's called a lot of shit. Quiet Storm says, white women took the most cuts of DEI, but have you noticed they are not complaining on social media en masse? Why? Because they got husbands. No news, exactly. Basically, Keisha took the low effort DEI jobs. And they got hired in jobs that were like title only, like just to have a DEI program, but they're jobs that they basically weren't doing nothing. Bro, all of us know mad Keishas that go to work, and they don't do a goddamn thing. They be taking 2-hour lunch breaks. You don't know what they be at work, and you be like, how was you on the phone all day and you was at work? We all know them, bro. Red Sigma. They can find enough people to do the hard postal work with all the retirement and beer virus. Trump still want to fight the postmaster who was in the office during the 2020 election. Yeah, facts. All right, Bill, let's go.
Mass federal layoffs, okay? Because there's one group in particular, the allegedly most educated demographic in this country. They're getting hit with the federal layoffs the hardest, okay? And they're now lashing out on social media over the fact that over 300,000 of them have left the workforce since February. They're checking out.
This chick hasn't even started talking yet. But this, what is her name? Katika Roy. She is a gender economist. How is that even a real thing? A gender economist. That's like a participation, like economics degree. A gender economist. Useless.
Over 300,000 Black women have left the workforce, according to MSNBC, and it is not a coincidence. We have seen the cuts that the federal government has been making, specifically across the Department of Education, Department of Health and Human Services, and we have seen the cuts happen. We've also
Right. Listen to these departments: Department of Education, when Keisha's boys are reading at a 4th grade level, and basically in general, the boys and girls, they're all illiterate. They can't read. Keisha's in charge. Health and Human Services. That's a joke in and of itself. You know how much abuse is going on in DHS and child abuse and whatnot, all run by Keisha's. That's what I'm saying to you. With them employed, everything's in shambles with them running shit. It can't get any worse with them all being gone. Burn it all to the ground.
also seen the cuts happen over the last few months, specifically at the federal level and also across the private sector due to DEI. And according to this article, the participation rate has now dropped below Latinas for the first time in over a year. Now, one thing that stuck out to me that I thought was very interesting, which kind of led to the conclusion of this article, is that 51% of households with Black children are led by Black women who are the breadwinners.
You see that tricky phraseology? Households led by Black women are the breadwinner. That means single mother homes, single mamas, baby. Yeah, that's not nobody's fault, but theirs, and it's not society's job.
Unemployment for Black women is above 6%, and if this was happening to any other demographic in the United States of America, we would be talking about it constantly. So I'm going to talk about it a little bit. Since February of this year, unemployment rates for Black women have increased month over month by at least half to 1%, which is huge. It is estimated by the...
Wow, her forehead is massive, bro. She look like a Klingon. Bro, do you see that? That's shout out to AC. That's nasty work.
The Bureau of Labor and Statistics that between February and March, when the bulk of federal layoffs happened in the first round, Black women lost 250,000 plus jobs. That's huge. I think it needs to be explicitly said that it's not an accident that...
No, what's huge is your forehead. That's a Klingon forehead, bro. She look like Worf. Shout out to AC. Nasty work.
The president's administration has been targeting DEI as well as the federal workforce because Black women are overrepresented in...
Look. Yo, bro, we be calling it. Look, another old boomer nigga. Yo, these old niggas gotta go. Before we hear him upset about these poor Black women, look at what the Republicans do. These old niggas gotta go, cuz they gotta go. These boomer niggas gotta go. Yo, Quiet Storm said, let men build a faulty bridge that causes a personal injury or a deletion. But Keisha can do a horrible job at teaching boys for decades without consequences. Nah, that ain't right. Exactly. Let's run it down. No News says 300K jobs lost that ain't coming back. And now there's a cap on student loans. Woo! So it's going to be hard to gain new skills. Oh, well. You know what? It ain't difficult. AWS cert only $150, $200. You know what I'm saying? STEM always hiring. Brother Zeke says, yeah, single mother raised. Check the lingo. Hell yeah. She got a Sam Cassell forehead. Y'all niggas wow. No News, to be a breadwinner, you actually have to have bread. We know what they make. Y'all niggas wildin'. Oh man. Tether forehead. Irv says your local DMV and post office is no longer being held hostage. Yo, facts. In order for you to get your ID or passport, gents, yeah. Shouldn't need to even take a ticket to be served. Yo, that's the whole fact. Woke up and said, I want the Yo, I want the Lamar Odom forehead. That's crazy.
Let's be nice. Let's be nice. We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it. I mean, good Lord.
Yo, that's crazy. Yo, y'all niggas stupid. Yo, is this Zeke? Is this new? Yeah, this is new. Hold on. Yo, Zeke, brother Zeke with the $5 super chat. He said $40 holla. About to become a $5 swallow. Yo, that's whole facts. Hashtag F all you hoes. She's selling. Yo, it's already looking like that, but yo, it's gonna be a hot, well, it's already a hot summer. It's gonna be a hot summer and an extra cold winter.
Man, fuck all you hoes. Fuck you and your mammy and your granny too. Fuck all you hoes. I'm sick of this shit. Fuck all you hoes. Don't give a damn, bitch, what you wanna do. Fuck all you hoes.
Facts. No, brother Zeke, yeah, you're right. AWS $100, yeah. And you don't got to go to college for that. Trying to tell you that cloud money, cloud about to be $1 trillion industry as the AI arms race is taking off, because you can't have AI without cloud. Leon Henneking 008 says, bruh, I feel bad every time someone loses his job, but some jobs are not for real. That's facts. Red Sigma, man, so much low cost. Yeah, so much low cost STEM now. If you ain't got a job, you don't want one. That and whatchamacallit, if you got any of these trade skills, man, like you in a winning position, my man. The white woman's preference. We gotta get these names. The Democrats told Black American women a bad bill of goods. Oh well, competent FBA men have moved on to white women and the Republican Party. And I'm facts, but I'm going to keep reiterating this. The Republican Party, as we know it right now under Trump, is only Republican in name. He took the party over. MAGA is a populist movement, as reflected by the mandate he got during the election. But most importantly, and I had this conversation with Saul. Remember, he absorbed RFK and Tulsi Gabbard, who were independents. So really, what you're looking at now, what we're calling the Republican Party in name only, is some sort of hybrid party. Something we've never seen. A populist Republican named party that Trump had already taken over, and then he absorbed basically a third party, an independent party, into the current administration. So this isn't even like this is some weird hybrid independent / populist party government that we're under right now. And that's why so much is getting done. It's Republican Party in name only, and the majority of the policies you're seeing enacted. And when they say Trump's moving the country to the right, no, he's moving it back to the center, because policy has moved so far to the left, radical fringe left, to the point where we're actually having rational full discussions on national television about freaking communist candidates and stuff for mayor and senator and stuff. It's ridiculous. All right, and this is the archetype of the typical black male Democrat. If they're not rainbow, it's one of these old boomer niggers.
I'm upset, but I understand. Over 300,000 black women have left the labor force in 3 months. It's a great article by MSNBC. Please go and watch it. Just Google it. You'll pull it up. I'm going to read a couple of excerpts from it. It says, and more than 518,000 black women still haven't returned to the labor market since the pandemic began. Okay? It goes on to say, in the private sector, DEI budgets have been slashed or frozen. Job postings for DEI roles dropped by 43% between August 2022 and July 2024. And the number of DEI positions fell from 20,000 in 2023 to 17.
What's this? What Kwame say? He said, man, I had to pull my box truck over from laughing so hard. Was the forehead jokes? What Storm say? Machismo skipped my last forehead joke, but I understand. Wait, did I? Let me see. No news, yes, sir. The chat start moving so fast. The forehead shit set everything off. What do you say? That forehead got the y'all stupid. Got the 3 prime directives on it. Serve the public, trust, protect the innocent, uphold the law. Uphold the law. Y'all niggas, man.
Okay. We'll do it live. Okay. No. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I can.
Yo. I say y'all got Kwame. I got Kwame pulling his truck over, laughing. Yo, her forehead was ridiculous, bro. There was nothing that could be done about that. Nothing could be done about it.
15,500 by April 2025. Companies have also scaled back black mentorship programs, slowed inclusive hiring, and deprioritized equity benchmarks.
All stuff that's fucking useless. Yo, once again, none of this benefits black men. That's why when we was walking it down to the November elections, I kept telling y'all, whenever you hearing, all you need to be asking yourself when you listen to this shit, what's in it for me? Do you hear anything in it for you? Does any of what they talking about, does that benefit you? Then that means there's nothing in it for you. So that means you don't need to care about it. Keep it moving.
DEI as expendable, even though the data doesn't show. Ladies and gentlemen, I am here to tell you, everything in America is racist.
Everything in America is, yo, these old niggas gotta go. Yo, Red Sigma, wow, you wildin', cuz. He said her forehead is order 66. You wildin', son.
My nigga.
That's some funny shit. Yo, let's listen to this old boomer nigga, man. This is a perfect example why these old niggas gotta go. They gotta go.
Okay? It is done to hurt black and brown. Look at what's happening right now. We have this idiot in chief telling everyone the problem with our country is not the rich white folks stealing your money. The problem with our country is
this is why these old goofy niggas gotta go. The rich white folks stealing your money were in the Democratic Party this last 4 fucking years they was in power. All of your money went to fucking Ukraine and to illegal immigrants. Yo, these boomers, man, they be leading you off a fucking cliff, bro. They gotta go.
Brown people coming over. You see that? We know that's not true, but that's what he's saying. They did the same thing back in the days with black.
These old niggas gotta go talking these 1965 talking points, bro. It's 2025.
Same thing. Racism is the blood of America.
Yo, I'll be watching documentaries. Do you know that Jim Crow policies were enacted by a Democrat, Woodrow Wilson? So this goofy nigga right here talking about racism, supporting the party that actually invented Jim Crow. Look at his goofy face. It's punchable. I can't stand these old niggas.
It's the blood of America. And unfortunately, it is something that they have to continue to practice, but you can't kill us.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. Okay, so yeah, this is a thing, a real thing, in which you have a disproportionate amount of black women losing their jobs, mainly due to federal layoffs. Now, the question that people should be asking is, why is it that the government is disproportionately employing black women over everybody else, right? That is the question that nobody really wants.
That's a very good question. You see that? Why is the government that is the real question? Why is the government disproportionately employing black women over it's spot on. That's the $1 million question.
To answer. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this clip from NBC here discussing this trend.
Well, the impact of job loss is being felt nationwide, especially among black women in the labor force. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, in February, more than 10.5 million.
Oh, this is real. Is this real news? Because I haven't seen this covered anywhere. Let's go.
Black women were employed, but by June, that number dropped below 10.3 million. That's a loss of more than 300,000 employees in just months. Some of that job loss can be attributed to cuts in the federal workforce and the dismantling of DEI programs in the public and private sectors. Gender economist Katika Roy joins us now. She recently wrote an article for MSNBC that examined black women leaving the labor force, and she joins us now with more.
And bear in mind, this is a gender economist, i.e. not a real economist.
On what she found. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
300,000 black women leaving the workforce in 3 months sounds like an alarming number. How and why did this happen? And why do you say it's not a coincidence?
Well, the job cuts, yeah, it's a good question. So if we take a step back, this is an economic alarm bell. You know, the primary piece that we are seeing is the federal job cuts and the agencies that were actually targeted for those cuts, which such as education and healthcare, which are predominantly employed black women. So for instance, if you look at women's labor force participation and the percentage of black women in the labor force, they make up about 6% of.
What they're essentially saying is, look, majority of black women are employed in jobs that are non-essential to the upkeep or contribute to the bottom line of the economy. That's what they're really saying.
Of the labor force, but 12% of federal jobs.
Wow. 6% of the labor force, but 12% of the federal jobs. Now, they're overrepresented, right? They're overrepresented, significantly overrepresented. Now, I want you guys to understand, while the media and other people are painting this as some type of issue, right? I want you guys to just think about, if white people were employed at twice the rate that they are represented in the population, right? Let's say that, I don't know, some population was like 40% white and 80% of the jobs went to white people. Don't you think people would have questions about that? Right? I mean, we have seen people have questions about that, right? We've seen people have questions when white people are overrepresented in the workforce, right? But nobody's asking questions about why is it that black women represent 6% of the population, but yet they're 12% of the federal workforce. It's a problem, right? Or put it this way, if, again, these were white people, it would be a problem. But because it's black women, nobody sees this as an issue. Now, in my opinion, I think what is happening here is that you have the government basically hiring people that the private sector doesn't want to hire, right? The so-called most educated group in this country
Bingo.
are mainly a bunch of women.
Bingo. 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 You have the government hiring people that the private sector does not want to hire. And there is incentive, mostly because most of these hirings of these quiches happened under Democratic administrations. And why are they hiring these quiches? So they can still have them over the black male. We know what the agenda, we know what the lexicon is here. Brett Sigma says, now that the black community is destroyed, yep, white supremacy is breaking their tools. And what's this? Brother Zeke says, yeah, get these quiches out the damn CDC too, getting paid $80K to do nothing. And shout out to us, man, because we called this.
Who decided to get in debt to go to college and to get a bunch of these useless degrees, right? Underwater, basket weaving, okay, gender studies, women's studies, feminism, society, history of African American, like, you know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that, okay? And then they also go to school and they get these master's degrees too on top of that, right? Yeah, the federal government has decided to employ individuals who otherwise are not employable. This is why after they get fired, they just leave the workforce, right? They're just like, nah, we're out, right? We're just not going to work at all because ultimately, I mean, where else can they get jobs? If they can't be employed by the federal government, who in the private sector is going to employ them? Which again tells you everything you need to know about why they're overrepresented in the government. The government was a subsidy for these women who went and got all these fancy degrees that don't produce any real skills, right? Or have real output, okay, at all in society.
I.e. the Keisha industrial complex. And it's it's them also subsidizing their voter base because Keisha's vote what? Almost 90% Democrat. So they want to give them that most educated, most employed in the black community. They're subsidizing their voter base. They basically were buying their votes the same way they're doing the immigrants coming in now. So the Keishas are being replaced by the Democratic Party, at least. All the Keisha money's going to the immigrants now. And with Trump coming in, like Trump's like, well, everybody got to go. So immigrants got to go. These Keisha heavy departments hired under these Democratic administrations, all these DEI departments packed with Keishas. Get them up out of here and run the Doge and the audit and see what else we can cut.
So now they're laid off. I don't think anybody's life has gotten significantly worse when it comes to dealing with the federal government, right? We haven't seen a breakdown in essential services or things of that nature. We haven't seen any of the things that these people have fear-mongered about from dismantling the government. But yet you got all these women that have now left the workforce. So I'm just saying, you know, I feel like people got to take a step back and ask the question of, again, why is it that black women are overrepresented by the federal government? And I don't want to hear anything about, oh, the history of racism, the government, they were the only people willing to employ black women. I don't want to hear it because a lot of black women got hired over the last 3 to 4 years, okay? They've been pushing women. They have all these programs to try to get women in these jobs in the private sector. I don't want to hear it. There are plenty of opportunities, or there were plenty of opportunities, at least during the pandemic. Yeah, there were opportunities. And come to find out, a lot of these positions that these women were being hired for, they don't produce any revenue.
Locally, for sure, with the federal reduction, what kind of impact? So we talked a little bit about the economic effect. What kind of impact is the loss of black women in the workforce having locally, nationally? I mean, what does it mean for the future when it comes to things like student loans, home ownership, and building generational wealth?
Black women don't build no goddamn generational wealth. They never leave their kids nothing. They don't build nothing. Look at the community, which is trash now that the men are leaving. They don't do life insurance. They don't do nothing. Yo, listen to this gaslight ridiculous. What does that say about student loans, and what's the impact of all these Keishas losing their jobs? There's no impact on black men. Over 50% of black men are single and without children. It doesn't affect us one goddamn bit.
And that's a great point. So one of the things that we know is for every percentage point of women leaving the labor force, it actually hits GDP at about $164 billion. So in other words, the connection is 1% equals about 146 billion GDP loss. But then we have things such as housing, the spillover effects that
most of these chicks is on Section 8 that's being cut. And even though Keisha spend the money, they spending money on weaves. They consumer spending be on junk and trash and over financing on vehicles and stuff like that. Like, bro.
You were talking about housing, healthcare, education, etc. And we've seen that even.
Yo, you said it, Quiet Storm. Notice society hasn't skipped a beat with all these layoffs. Facts. Yeah, Brother Zeke says, hence why black men have to start over with every generation. Yeah, little to no inheritance from Keisha moms. Not to mention, men will work to pay off loans faster. Exactly. Listen, man, you want to make an omelet, you got to break a few eggs.
And with inflation, right? So black women on average earn 64 cents on the dollar, but the inflation rate as of last week is 3 times that for women's goods and services.
Yeah, so keep in mind, this woman right here, right, who's clearly woke, she's a so-called gender economist, right? What the hell is a gender economist? Somebody tell.
Yo, I swear I didn't watch this clip all the way through. He caught the same thing I did. I just did this rant. I didn't watch this clip all the way through. All right, so he caught it too. What the hell is a gender economist?
Oh, me. Yeah. Now, when I first saw this title, I said, I guarantee you she doesn't have an economics degree, right? I guarantee you that she does not have an economics degree. And lo and behold, right? If you look up,
oh, he would have looked her up on Twitter. I told you, yo, what did I say? I said, oh, gender economist, i.e., meaning not a real economist.
Her history here, right? What she has a political science degree, not an economics degree. She has a master's of art in educational technology, not an economics degree. Some leadership development, not economics. And then she has an MBA from the University of Denver, right? Which I guess is the closest thing that you can get to an economics degree that's not actually an economics degree, but that's still not an economics degree. But yet she's calling herself a gender economist. While also at the same time, she has her pronouns in her LinkedIn. Okay, so we know what we're dealing with here, right? We're dealing with an individual that clearly is woke. Okay. And she's coming at it from the perspective that, hey, this is going to hurt the economy so much. And here's the thing. What I believe is that there are plenty of jobs for these women that probably actually match their skill set, right? Like, for example, all these Democrats boo-hoo and cried about the illegals being deported. There's a lot of jobs available. All these illegals losing their jobs. I'm just saying there's a lot of jobs available for these women that probably actually match their skill set. So I'm just saying, all hope is not lost. They can replace the illegals that are being deported.
All right, bet. So I wanted to cover that segment because it's fine. I see it's finally starting to get some news, and I ran a poll. Okay, do you feel bad for the 300K jobs lost by black women this quarter? 84% of you said no. I'm with the 84%, and 16% of you said yes. Bless your tender hearts. Bless your tender hearts. I myself am from the collateral damage school. All right, guys, let's load up this next segment. I believe I got this one from Quiet Storm. I wanted to get the 300K out of the way and the New York shooter out of the way because that was fresh. I actually 16% Quiet Storm said the 16% are Keisha Clout watchers. That may very well be a fact. Oh, it just as a matter of fact, and fun fact, our Cloud Watch percentage is always greater than the chat. So whatever number of people you see in the chat, we're usually double or triple that in Cloud Watchers in real time. So we always have more Cloud Watchers than we have people in the actual chat, which is wild. All right, let's we definitely got to cover this. Quiet Storm sent me this. Shout out to Trump. No surprise to me. No surprise to any of us who knew the game. After all the tough talk, all the saber rattling, all the chest beating, EU's finally struck a deal with the EU, meaning the entirety of Europe, European Union, has struck a trade deal with Trump, and on Trump's terms. So let's watch a piece of this victory lap.
Ever reached in any capacity, trade or beyond trade.
It is.
It's a giant deal with lots of countries because, as you know, Ursula represents a lot of countries, not one country. It's not easy for you. It's because a lot of very different countries, great countries, but some are strong with cars, some are strong with agriculture, some are strong with both, right? You have a lot of different factors.
Yo, don't let tethers in the juke joint. Yo, it says Keisha has lost her job. Hopefully, it will lead to her losing some weight too. And as the AEC says, don't fall for the reach back, fellas. SYS, BM, and Trump 2028. Hell yeah. Evan Reed was $2 super chat. He said, it's not wild, it's Hector. Hashtag F all you hoes.
Man, fuck all you hoes. Fuck you and your mammy and your granny too. And fuck all you hoes. I'm sick of this shit. Fuck all you hoes. And fuck all you. Don't give a damn, bitch, what you wanna do. And fuck all you.
All right, let's go.
So we're going to do the following. The European Union is going to agree to purchase from the United States $750 billion worth of energy. $750 billion worth of energy. They are going to agree to invest into the United States $600 billion more than they're investing already. So they're investing a large amount of money. You know what that amount of money is. It's very substantial, but they're going to invest an additional.
Yo, Trump is an asshole. He looked at her like and said, you know what that amount of money is? It's substantial. Because they was playing hardball, so he ended up making them pay more. You know what that amount of money is? It's substantial. Yo, Trump is an asshole. Oh, I just seen this. Yo, shout out Quiet Storm gifted 5 Machismo TV memberships. Yo, if you got notified that you got a membership, thank Quiet Storm in the chat, man. And for that one, we gonna have to switch it up real quick and do one of these.
Dom the Monko. Dom the Monko. Dom the Monko.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, Quiet Storm with the 5 channel memberships. Yo, and shout out to everybody that is a channel member, man. I'll be streaming extra stuff for y'all as much as I can, man. Trying to get some programming together on that.
Man, fuck all you hoes. Fuck you and your mammy and your granny too. And fuck all you hoes. I'm sick of this shit. Fuck all you hoes. And fuck all you. Don't give a damn, bitch, what you wanna do. And fuck all you.
Yo, Quiet Storm is right. It looks like Victoria received a gifted membership, and Cree received one. He is right. 2 Keisha Clout Watchers. How about that? Sower Seed received one. Team Peterson. Yo, you a wild boy, Storm. Yo, the membership. Yo, the free membership doxed them. So yeah, that would account for at least some of the 16%. That would account for at least some of the 16% in the polling. Oh man. Yo, that would account for some of the 16% in the polling. That's a new feature too, where YouTube tells you who got the memberships. Man, that's bad funny. That's yo, for real. That is bad funny.
Okay. We'll do it live. Okay. No. We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Let's go.
$600 billion. They're agreeing to open up their countries to trade at zero tariff.
Yo, Irvin said that was a TAP move.
So that's a very big factor. Opening up their countries, all of the countries will be opened up to trade with the United States at zero tariff. And they're agreeing to purchase a vast amount of military equipment. We don't know what that number is, but it's the good news is we make the best military equipment in the world. So sort of you have to do that. I mean, until somebody tops us, which is not going to happen. We're way ahead of every other country in terms of the quality of the military equipment. You saw that recently in Iran, and you see that, unfortunately, you see that often for all the wrong reasons, right? So those things are 750 billion, 600 billion, opening up the country. We are agreeing.
Yo, y'all hear these numbers? 700 billion, 600 billion. You know, that's close to a T for both of them, as in trillion. He bringing that money home to the U.S. Yo, Trump ain't about them games, man. He came for the money. He came for the money, yo. And guys, bear in mind, the man ain't even been in the office for 200 days, and he bringing home T's. He bringing home T's to the bank.
that the tariff straight across for automobiles and everything else will be a straight across tariff of 15%. So we have a tariff of 15%. We have the opening up of all of the European countries, which I think I could say were essentially closed. I mean, you weren't exactly taking our autos, you weren't exactly taking our agriculture, and then you would have smaller things. But
Bruh, he talking right to their face. You wasn't taking our agriculture. You wasn't. Damn, that's the press secretary, Catherine. Ooh, she just had that baby. She thick. Look at him, Jesus. She said, "Damn, she country fed white girl, boy."
but for the most part, it was closed. And now it's open. It's open for our companies to go in and do a good job with it. I think you'll like them. I think you'll like it. And we will, very importantly, they'll be investing a lot of money.
Bro, he's really dogging her to her face. Like, yeah, you wasn't taking our products. You got to take them now. You're gonna have to give us something. You're gonna have to give us a lot of money. You agreed to that, right? Giving us a lot of money.
But the military is a big number, but that's one number we're not determining. It's going to be whatever it is, but they're going to be purchasing hundreds of billions of dollars worth of military equipment. They're very importantly, they're going to purchase $750 billion worth of energy. So that's going to be great. And $600 billion worth of investments into the United States over and above what they have. So, and I think that basically concludes the deal. I mean, those.
Man. Quiet Storm said he did the math. I did the math. The deal totaled $1.7 trillion in investments, and America pays zero tariffs. This is what I'm talking about, guys. Tangibles, quantifiable results. You think Kamala could have struck this deal? She'd still be giving the fucking farm away. You think Kamala could have struck this deal? And if you watch, that's why I liked this interview. Storm sent me this. He's gloating in her face because she was talking mad reckless about him in the press and everything. And so he's spelling it out. Because look, what happens is he's going to say he got a deal. Then the mainstream media and the press are going to be like, it's not that good a deal. He doesn't have that much. So what Trump is doing with her right there, he's listing it out by the dollar amount, what he got. So if it's not true, she would have to, and he's making her agree. When he says it, he's looking at her and being like, yo, you agreed to this, right? So they can't misrepresent the deal in the press. Trump is a savage. You got to peep that. 47 pimps slapped and got not only a full reversal, but taxed their ass more than Rodney Dangerfield. Exactly. Word, son? Word. Quiet Storm Montel Williams was the other one close to Kamala's mouth. Y'all think it's wild.
Those are the main factors. I don't think there are too many other factors other than we're going to get along great. And we have a great relationship now with NATO, which is largely the same. I mean, not exactly, but pretty close, right? Largely. And with NATO, as you know, they're going up to 5% from 2%. And the relationship is very strong with NATO. So I just want to congratulate you. I think it's great that we made a deal today instead of playing games and maybe not making a deal at all. I think it's, I'm going to let you say, but I think it's the biggest deal ever made. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Yo, look at Trump's face. That Trump's face is gotcha, bitch. He don't like that broad. He don't like that broad. And he's making her publicly abdicate. Bro, Trump is a savage, bro. He making them all kiss the ring, bro. This is who the country needed as president right now. He's walking around letting his balls swing like, yo, America's back. Y'all gonna fall in line. Most importantly, y'all gonna pay. Y'all gonna pay. And then all this trash you talking about me in the press about what you gonna do, what you not gonna do. Okay. And then when I beat you, you gonna have a press conference with me and you gonna kiss the ring. Gangster. Don't let the tethers in the juke joint says, wow. It's interesting. The EU whites, i.e., white foreigners, are taking advantage of our country, just like the tethers were taking advantage of FBA men. That's a bar. The good news is that both jigs are up. I don't know who this guy is, but you get what yeah, his screen name is wild, right? Woo. Yo, exactly. Yo, right. You're spot on, Red Sigma. Yo, you get one of these too. All right, you guys are on fire. Red Sigma says, straight man running the White House again. It really is that simple, gentlemen. It really is that simple.
Yeah, thank you. We have a deal. We have a trade deal between the two largest economies in the world. And it's a big deal. It's a huge deal. It will bring stability. It will bring predictability. That's very important for our businesses on both sides of the Atlantic. It's 15% tariffs across the board, all inclusive. The investments Mr. President just described, that going to go to the United States and the purchases over there. Indeed, basically the European market is open. It's 450 million people. So it's a good deal. It's a huge deal.
Yeah.
With tough negotiations. I knew it at the beginning, and it was indeed very tough, but we came to good conclusions for both sides. So again, congratulations and many thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Look at his face. He don't like this broad. Hold on, let me run that back. And that's all code. It was tough. It was very, very tough. That mean they was playing hardball, and Trump was like, man, I will strangle your country. Look at his face. Look at his face. Trump don't like this broad. That's that face like, yeah, bitch, I told you I'll cripple your fucking country.
Patience and many thanks.
Look at his face. Look. Look at the handshake.
Thank you very
much. Look.
Thank you.
Look how he look. Look. See the hand tap, the tap. Look at his face. He don't like this broad. Look, he do not like that broad.
Do you have any questions?
I'm pausing it like that on purpose.
I think we both wanted to make a deal. You said something that is very important. It's going to bring us closer together. I think this deal will bring us very close together, actually. Sort of, it's a partnership in a sense.
Have you seen him when he signed the deal with Japan, India, and just when he's just got any type of investment? You ever see he's up there smiling with the person and everything? He don't like that broad. Yeah, I'm trying to tell you, dude, they're saying it's a tough deal. He must have really just been like, I will make sure you fuckers starve.
But it's a very good point, and it's something that's very important.
Was there one issue that we need to get rid of, or one?
No, we had 4 or 5. No, not pharmaceuticals. I mean, we're going to be, as you know, a lot of.
Straight up. Storm says these Western European countries thought the U.S. was weak and foolish. This is fuck around, find out at its finest. But bear in mind, this would not have happened under Kamala or Democratic administration. This guy is really cleaning up the world in one term. Canada also got put in the corner with their coloring book until he's ready for that. Oh yeah, I want to see him just crush Canada. Because I don't know, they're out of their fucking mind, bro. You're Canadian. Just fall back. Y'all don't even have a military, bro. He's all smiles and jokes. He left no meat on the bone. Nah, I think those negotiations got nasty, and Trump really played hardball. Like, yo, we'll shut this whole shit down. Because it's not in the news. They already got a riot in provinces in Britain. We covered the riots in Spain, and there's Europe's falling apart. So let's let a little bit more of this play, and then we're going to do the by the numbers segment and call it a night. We're at the 1 hour 39-minute mark.
Of companies are coming into the U.S., and that's unrelated to this deal. But it's, I think we this didn't just start today. We had a meeting. I wasn't sure. I said 50-50. I think you probably felt the same thing. But this started months ago, this negotiation. So we knew pretty much what we were getting into, and we were able to make a deal that's very satisfactory to both sides. So it's a very powerful deal. It's a very big deal. It's the biggest of all the deals. It will be the biggest of all the deals. So we're very honored to have done so. And your staff has been fantastic, and they worked together
They worked
long and hard.
They worked hard and long, and many thanks to the teams on both sides. There was, as I said at the beginning, a heavy lifting you had to do, but many thanks also for the talks we had many times on the way to our goal. And now we made it, and that's good. It's really good.
Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
I have a question for the EU Commissioner President. What are the U.S. concessions? What is the U.S. giving up in the deal, if anything?
So the starting point was an imbalance, a surplus on our side and a deficit on the U.S. side. And we wanted to rebalance the trade relation. And we wanted to do it in a way that trade goes on between the two of us across the Atlantic, because the two biggest economies should have a good trade flow between us. And I think we hit exactly the point we wanted to find. Rebalance, but enable trade on both sides, which means good jobs on both sides of the Atlantic, means prosperity on both sides of the Atlantic. And that was important for us.
And again, the energy is a very important component.
All right, but what do we got? Storm said, I didn't think he could surpass the Japan and Indonesia deal. I was wrong. And Reed says, remember Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey Jr.? The Secret Society guy made a speech that would be, what's his face? Mark Strong. Made a speech when he took over. We will take back and remind them that they are our colony. Speaking of the U.S. Yeah, exactly. They see us like that. Take the deal or give me Greenland. Bro. Black men in our camp, bro. We're on the right side of history with this. And that's why we're seeing a massive break from these old boomer Negroes, man. If we had listened to these old boomer Negroes, we'd still be out here marching with quiches and Al Sharpton it up. Like they gotta go the way of the friggin' dinosaur, bro. We're at the 1 hour 43-minute mark. Let's do some by the numbers real quick. Let's see, is this it? Yeah. This is I just found this channel like last week. Red Eagle Politics, and they've got 220,000 subscribers. So they've been doing this for a while. But this is as of 3 hours ago. And this is a new data set. I'm from Philadelphia. I helped turn Pennsylvania red this election cycle with Trump. I was boots on the ground. We were very happy when you guys we streamed the election night live, and we watched Pennsylvania go red. So midterms are coming up. Pennsylvania's technically a swing state. It's currently red, but it's traditionally and has always been blue as the state. Now, bear in mind the majority of the state is red. It's a population density thing. What actually ends up turning it blue is Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, and some of these other counties. But the majority of the state in and of itself is red. So this one is Republicans had a massive week in Pennsylvania. So let's take a look at what these numbers are. I guess this is in terms of polling or potential voting or voter registration for midterms coming up. Let me load this up and let's take a look. Facts. Let's take a look at this. Quiet Storm and Kwame, if you're in the chat, this segment's for you. Believe it or not, By the Numbers is actually usually my favorite segment. So wait, let's knock Brother Zeke with the $5 super chat. He says, I still have debates with my dad on immigration. Why do these boomers cape so hard for folks outside of their camp and lineage? That's a whole fact though, bro.
Man, fuck all you hoes. Fuck you and your mammy and your granny too. Man, fuck all you hoes. I'm sick of this shit. Fuck all you hoes. Man, fuck all you. Don't give a damn, bitch, what you wanna do. Man, fuck all you hoes.
There's nothing that can be done about these old boomers, man. They're too close to like that era, and you know what I'm saying? Like these 1965 tactics and shit and talking points, they just don't work no more. Like you gotta, you know what I'm saying? They're not going to change. It's the young sassy black male Democrats and like these other ones that we gonna go out like them old boomers. Just ain't nothing you could do about it. Like, you know what I mean? They're stuck in their ways with that and everything else. Do you know what I'm saying? Occasionally, you'll get one that'll have a rational back and forth with you.
Below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So the tipping point state in the 2024 election was none other than the state of Pennsylvania. And Pennsylvania has become, over the years, that state. And what I mean by that state, it's like the battleground state that if you win it, chances are you're probably winning the entire thing. Hence the term tipping point state. And it's very crucial. Donald Trump won the state by 1.7 percentage points. He won the state by over 100,000 votes over Kamala Harris in the 2024 presidential election. And the state has shown signs of turning to the right before this past election and also after this past election. And there are new voter registration statistics out today, and the trend is staggering. Active voter registration in the state is on the verge of flipping by the end of this year, let alone by 2028. And the total voter registration also is possibly on the table for flipping before the midterm. So we're going to talk about this for sure. But first, got to tell you guys about our friends over at Allegiance Gold. While the media is obsessing about Trump's state, call Allegiance Gold. The 790-919 is not a year or a few months or even 1 month. This is 1 week. The Republicans have netted 9,100 voters over the Democrats. That includes some purges, obviously. That includes people switching their party. That includes new voters, but it doesn't really matter. That's 10,000 voters that are in a swing state, the most consequential swing state that means that it's not even like flipping 10,000 voters or 9,100 or whatever you want to call it, round up, round down. It's really like flipping millions of voters because of how important the state of Pennsylvania truly is to the Electoral College. And the Democrats had a 900,000 plus lead in the state.
All right, guys, we have the 1 hour, 49-minute mark. We're just going to go overtime. We're just going to rock out until everybody fall out in the chat. Don't let the tethers in the juke joint says, PA is similar to New York. Philadelphia and Pittsburgh make it a battleground state, just like the disgusting place called New York City does in New York. Also, there are mass voter fraud in all 3 cities. Spots on. Oh, Irvin Reed with the $5 super chat. He says, for clout watching blizzards, newsflash tax. You got it, man. Also, can we also show them what retirement's going to look like? No, no rush, man. Hold on. Let's just run it all down while we doing the numbers.
A massive gizzard has buried Kamlambus in 2 feet of dong load. Locals blame the lack of preparation on Mayor Linda P. Slurp.
The city of Columbus is reeling today after an unprecedented event. What officials are calling a gizzard has left downtown streets.
Man, fuck all you hoes. Fuck you and your mammy and your granny too. And fuck all you hoes. I'm sick of this shit. Fuck all you hoes. And fuck all you. Don't give a damn, bitch, what you wanna do. And fuck all you.
All right, we're going to run them down. Retirement.
Coochie back in 76. It was a phase, but it was a good one.
Sweetie, we was all bumping uglies all summer. Bitch, please, you ain't even got the most baby daddies on this block.
I got 5 kids and 6 baby daddies. Figure that shit out.
These old bitches in here be ready to smash every damn night. We out here clapping checks nightly, bro.
They used to call me the throat goat. They still call you that around here.
I got a tongue like a treadmill, baby. I don't get tired. That's cute. Mine got her tapping out like bingo night. Ask your wife.
Sweetie, can you run to 7-Eleven right quick and get me some KY?
Make it 2 bottles. The Lord been generous this week.
Yeah, bitch, he said he was just buying me lunch, and then I left with a limp.
Good thing he didn't dislocate that hip again. He said,
All right, let's run them down.
Riker, my good fortune is your good fortune.
I don't need your fantasy women.
Oh, you're so stolid. You weren't like that before the beard. Very well.
Oh, and Bitcoin is still up.
We got more pricing games coming up in the second half of the show. Don't go away, folks. We got more pricing games coming up in the second half of the show. Don't go away, folks. We got more pricing games coming up.
The drops do make the show. The drops do make the show. All right, let's get back to these numbers. God damn it.
Pennsylvania. And Pennsylvania has become, over the years, that state. And what I mean by that state, it's like the battleground state that if you win it, chances are you're probably winning the entire thing. Hence the term tipping point state. And it's very crucial. Donald Trump won the state by 1.7 percentage points. He won the state by over 100,000 votes over Kamala Harris in the 2024 presidential election. And the state has shown signs of turning to the right before this past election and also after this past election. And there are new voter registration statistics out today. And the trend is staggering. Active voter registration in the state is on the verge of flipping by the end of this year, let alone by 2028. And the total voter registration also is possibly on the table for flipping before the midterm. So we're going to talk about this for sure. But first, got to tell you guys about our friends over at Allegiance Gold. While the media is obsessing about Trump's tariffs, something big is brewing and nobody's talking about it except right here. Because starting this month, under new Basel III international banking rules, gold will officially be reclassified as a Tier 1 asset, placing it on the same level as cash and U.S. Treasuries. Translation, gold is money again. Just in the first quarter, thousands of tons of gold were quietly moved back to the U.S. from Europe. Meanwhile, central banks around the globe are stockpiling gold at record levels. That's not a coincidence. That's a signal. So if the world's most powerful financial institutions are hoarding gold, or even 1 month, this is 1 week, the Republicans have netted 9,100 voters over the Democrats. That includes some purges, obviously. That includes people switching their party. That includes new voters, but it doesn't really matter. That's 10,000 voters that are in a swing state, the most consequential swing state. That means that it's not even like flipping 10,000 voters or 9,100 or whatever you want to call it, round up, round down. It's really like flipping millions of voters because of how important the state of Pennsylvania truly is to the Electoral College. And the Democrats had a 900,000 plus lead in the state in 2016. That's with Donald Trump winning the state. Now, the active Democrat voter lead has been just absolutely decimated down to 58,530. And this past election cycle, that was well over 100,000 active voters that they led. Now it's down to 58,500. It's very likely that if this trend continues by the end of the year, let alone by the midterms, the active voter registration lead will have crumbled to nothing. And we could look at this as well because in 2024, come November, which is the election update, Democrats had a lead of 281,000. That lead is now in the total voter registration, which includes a lot of Democrats who don't vote. It's down to like 160, 170,000. And that's still a decline of about 40,000 since December. It's still well on track to possibly flip before the midterms, if not before the 2028 presidential election. And for a while, the Democrats were gaining in the voter registration because you had a primary in Philadelphia. Democrats, which said for the longest time that voter registration data and trends don't matter, were cheering and were celebrating that fact. However, ever since that primary took place, we've seen a reversal of fortunes and Republicans have started to gain. And you would not really see that happening if you were on the verge of a massive, massive like blue wave in the state of Pennsylvania. You wouldn't see it. But on top of it, just looking at why this is happening, Democrats have a massive problem in Philadelphia. The suburbs, they've done better than they were doing in the 2000s, for sure. But again, they've lost a lot of ground in many exurban areas, many rural areas, even some urban areas, places like Wilkes-Barre, Luzerne County, which was reliably a blue county, voted for Obama twice. You know, it was a Democrat county more times than not, voting for Donald Trump by over 30,000 votes, or just about that, 20 percentage points. That's absolutely brutal. And Philadelphia and the Philadelphia area, Donald Trump actually did better in the Philadelphia suburbs than he did in 2020, and in some of them better than 2016, and even better than Mitt Romney did in Bucks County, because of the fact that you have a heavy white working class, mainly Catholic population, a lot of Italians, a lot of other groups, Poles, you name it, living in the Philadelphia area that have just come home to the Republican Party. They've, in many cases, been naturally conservative, or they haven't voted. Now they're voting in higher numbers and registering as Republican. I think automatic voter registrations helped out a lot. Republicans were initially against it. I said at the time, it's going to come back to bite the Democrats in the rear end. Be happy about this. And it did spectacularly, and it continues to do so. And another thing is like the voter registration stats. A lot of younger voters registering for the first time everywhere are registering Republican. They're not registering Democrat. They were for a while.
That's facts. And I guarantee you the majority of them are men. Men are trending heavily conservative, and that's men of all ethnicities and all ages, except for fucking boomers. Yeah, but the young new voters, they're all trending conservative. And more than likely they're heterosexual. Like the Democratic Party is hemorrhaging men.
On the Democrat side for quite some time, not anymore. But Philadelphia city proper is the main thing here, where Democrats, this is where they get their votes from. I mean, you look at Kamala.
Yup, that's where I'm from. We've got to, this is what I figured out though, too. Manosphere content, black manosphere content in particular. We'll concentrate on that because Democrats get the majority of their votes from a consolidated portion of black voters. There's heavy black manosphere content creators and content consumption of black men in the Philadelphia area. I've noticed that. So what does that translate to? That translates to actual on the ground conversations, you know, amongst men, like their friends, and so it happens to me in real life. I just had a phone call with somebody back in Philly today. We were on for like an hour plus arguing about the FBA tether thing and Trump. You understand what I'm saying? So this is happening in real life. So if there are a lot of black content creators from Philadelphia, and they have a big audience in the Philadelphia area, I believe that's part of the stripping away of votes. Stripping away of votes is that brothers is actually having these conversations in their friend groups and stuff like this. They're having these arguments and stuff. And we say that translate into folks being tired of Umar. I tell you this to Saul all the time. Yeah, Umar from Philly, but don't nobody in Philly mess with Umar. We know what Umar is. He's a Philly bro. Philly niggas king of the slick talk and all that, man. Like we know these Hotep dudes, bro. Like we grew up around these dudes. He's one of these. Don't nobody in Philly take Umar seriously, except for these old Hotep niggas, man. He ain't look. Don't nobody take that goofball serious. You know what I'm saying? He a typical classic Philly slick talking and a grifting dude, man. We see that dude coming a mile away. We surprised so many of y'all fell for him, and mainly like the Keishas.
Harris, even though she lost the state by the biggest margin of loss for a Democrat in Pennsylvania going all the way back to the 1980s, you had her still win this county 79-20, which is historically abysmal. But she also netted about 422,000 votes over Trump. However, it seems like you're watching trends in Philadelphia. They're working against the Democrats. They're working in favor of the Republicans. And as this is happening, Democrats, this is like what they have to fall back on in Pennsylvania. It's not really what it was before. I mean, Trump netted dozens of thousands of votes this time in Philadelphia over his previous performance against Biden. He's doing relatively decent in the Philadelphia suburbs compared to a lot of people's expectations. And he can.
Lord of Brooklyn, he says, however, Dr. Umar has real credentials compared to non-Dr. Cheyenne Brand. Oh, granted, if we going to compare grifter to grifter, yeah, I mean, hell yeah. I mean, unless and to keep it a buck, when Umar first came out, like his early part of his career, he was solid. He was talking a lot of stuff that we was talking. Do you know what I'm saying? You look at a lot of his earlier stuff. But then he made the money play. He went the preacher route. He needed that Keisha dollar. You know what I'm saying? So he started the you know what I'm saying? He started the pander campaign. And apparently it has paid him well. But early Dr. Umar, he was a force to be reckoned with, like arguing for boys' rights and education, illiteracy levels, them being put on psychiatric meds like the Ritalin and being falsely diagnosed as ADHD. If you look at a lot of his like early, he was spot on about everything. He he went the preacher grifter route. He needed that. When you start needing that Keisha dollar, you know what I'm saying, and you willing to dance for it. You see how that turn out. What do AC say? Keisha has the uncanny ability to turn one bum into two bums. Quiet Storm, my contribution to Umar broke fun situation.
Man, fuck all you hoes. Fuck you and your mammy and your granny too. And fuck all you hoes. I'm sick of this shit. Fuck all you hoes. And fuck all you. Don't give a damn, bitch, what you wanna do. And fuck all you hoes.
Yo, listen, man, when Umar actually finally do get that school open, though, this how you gonna be, though.
Yo, kids, they need to know I'm here to fuck you. I don't wanna know your name, yo, kids, they need to know I'm here to fuck you. Get the fuck on, ain't no shame. I'm here to fuck. I'm here to fuck. I'm here to fuck. I'm beautiful, I'm here to fuck. I'm beautiful, I'm here to fuck. I'm beautiful, I'm here to fuck. I'm beautiful. Watch this bridge, y'all. I'm here to fuck.
Yo, that's facts. That's how you gonna be first day of orientation. when the baby moms bring their kids and enroll their kids for the first day and shit. That's gonna be student orientation.
Continues to run it up in the Lehigh Valley, where you have a lot of white working class and a surprising number of Hispanic voters for a state like Pennsylvania and places like Allentown and places like Berks County. Donald Trump really running it up. And that's why he flipped counties like Monroe, which a lot of people didn't expect him to get. He won back Northampton. He almost flipped Lehigh County, which not a lot of people really expected to be that close. He did better across the entire state. And it's just a massive, massive change of fortunes. And it's extremely important for Republicans in the state of Pennsylvania, because already you talk about the voter registration advantage just decreasing from 916,000 in the total registration to about like 160, 170,000. But also active registration, which kind of matters more, has decreased all the way to 58,530. And possibly is going to flip Republican before we know it. And this means that, 2026, you have a Democrat incumbent governor who has a decent amount of popularity. All of that is true. But also moving forward to 2028, when the electorate comes back to baseline, even if Democrats have a decent 2026 in Pennsylvania, I still don't really think they're going to flip back, any more than 1 to 2 House districts there. Pennsylvania is a state that is going to be Republican, even in 2024. Not only did Donald Trump win, but you also saw in the state of Pennsylvania, if we could look at the other results in Pennsylvania, Republicans were able to knock off the supposedly unbeatable Bob Casey in the state. Also in the House, they flipped.
Bingo. Election night. That was the first thing that came in. It was me, Hot Sauce, because Hot Sauce from Philly too. It was me, Hot Sauce. All of us were on the stream election night. And that was the big thing. We was like, yo, a Republican beat Casey, because Casey's been in forever. So this is why we do these by the numbers segments. So like as things start coming up and you be hearing stuff in the news, it's like we done already looked at the numbers for ourselves. They can't gaslight us with fake polls and fake news stories and stuff. This is a very good breakdown too of and like I said, these are current numbers. So these are projections based off of the current pace of ongoing voter registration and the registration of new voters for the upcoming midterms.
Multiple House seats. They held every toss-up race. But on top of that, down ballot in these other statewide offices, they won the Attorney General's race by 5 points. They outran Trump. The auditor's race by 5. The treasurer's race by 6. This is a state that is turning from a lean blue state to a lean red state at the most opportune time, because North Carolina, that's another lean red state. I still think that if you look at the registration trends there, it's still very favorable to Republicans. They're gaining there. They flipped, I believe, the active registration. They're about to flip the inactive registration. Pennsylvania is another state. If they win both of these states, they're not going to lose. There's no math for them to lose. Those two states matter. That's the entire map, because they're doing much better in Arizona, partially thanks to Hispanics, but also the registration data there is through the roof for them. Nevada, same thing. 271, 203. Everything else is house money that's on the map. I mean, this is where we're at right now in 2025. And JD Vance, if the Trump administration continues to post these wins, the economy is doing better, the immigration situation continues to get even better. Yeah, I don't see how Republicans are going to lose the 2028 election. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Like this video down below.
Yeah, yeah, I like that channel, bro. And I like how it's a very detailed breakdown on how they came to via their data set and how they're coming to those conclusions. And I like the simulation maps. Guys, we're at the 2-hour 11 mark. We're already over overtime, so screw it. I'm gonna play one last segment. Quiet Storm sent me this one too. This Mark Levin's one of my favorite guys, constitutional scholar, etc. So we're gonna play this Mark Levin segment on the negative impact of the Democratic Party's propaganda, ongoing propaganda campaign against the American people, as well as the current sitting president. Yeah, we're going to do this bonus segment and get the hell up out of here. And Quiet Storm sent me this. So, all right, let's go. I'm my volume up. Come on, man. There we go. All right, let's go.
Good to see you. How am I? Thank me. God bless us. By the way, thank you for having me. This is interesting, right? Yeah. Because I have been a guest on your show, and now I get to interview you. This is the book. It's on power, and like your other 8, 9, 10 number one New York Times bestsellers, this may be one of the most powerful. No, thank you. This book, I would argue, is ripped from today's headlines. And it really, what we are experiencing as a country right now, and the radical left, and that would be Mamdani in New York, that would be AOC, the Squad, Jasmine Crockett, she's one of my favorites, Grandpa Bernie, or Pocahontas. You know, they are really the power structure within the Democratic Party. And I would argue in a broad overview, not to get ahead of ourselves, they want power. It's all about power. Mm-hmm. But there's negative power you write about, and there's positive power. Let's get a broad overview.
It's interesting you point them out, because every one of them are Marxists.
and or Islamists. And Marxism is incompatible with Americanism. The Declaration of Independence is really the greatest, most concise document on positive power. Why? Because those of us who believe in representative government and republicanism, in Americanism, we understand that the sovereign is God. And on earth, his children are the sovereign. We the people, not the government, not the ruling class. And when you read the Declaration of Independence, it basically explains this. It talks about unalienable rights, eternal, universal truths, and so forth. Where do they come from? Well, they don't come from mankind.
Endowed by our Creator.
Endowed by our Creator. God is mentioned or referenced in the Declaration of Independence. This is why the people you mentioned never mention the Declaration. Or if they read it, they take God out of the Declaration. This is why Marx hated the Declaration. They reject individual liberty. They never talk about it. They reject unalienable rights. They never talk about it. And so the battle we have in this country, as you so well explain about these people and us, is a fight over power. And a fight over power is a fight over liberty and rights. And so I got to thinking, we talk about liberty all the time. We talk about rights all the time, which is fine. But if we don't win the debate over power, then we don't have liberty and we don't have rights. So it doesn't matter.
I was not as articulate when I wrote Deliver Us from Evil, defeating terrorism, despotism, and liberalism. And people would say, well, why are you accusing us of being with them? Because if you don't defeat the underlying political philosophy, that is what you end up getting stuck with. I want to go to a bigger, broader overview. Earliest civilizations to modern republics of the West, power has been used to liberate and oppress, to reward or exploit, build or destroy. This is what you write in your book. This book goes deep and hard into the philosophical underpinnings of this battle that we're discussing.
Well, that's exactly right. Let's take a look at Islamism, not Muslim, not the Muslim faith generally, Islamism, the jihadis.
Radical Islamists.
The radicals. They have a lot in common with Marxism. Why is that? They reject the Enlightenment. What's the Enlightenment? Positive power is America, is Americanism. It is the fusion of faith, the Judeo-Christian principles, and the government. And why do they step in to make sure these conflicts are resolved? Because they want to pick the winners and losers. So I go into the book about how this power affects modern days, how it affects the economy, how it affects free speech and language and rights and all aspects of human society.
It's a good broad overview, and I want to dig down a little bit deeper into what you're saying in this book, because it's very profound. I could sum it up with one statement that you made: the character of the government we choose. We always say elections matter. Maybe that's a little cliche during election years. Well, elections matter. Of course they matter. I mean, Kamala Harris would have won. You and I both would have had a stroke, but the country would have suffered. Look at the decisions she would have made. More open borders. She would have taxpayer-funded sex change operations for illegals and convicts, and we're going to have feminine products and grade school boys' bathrooms and taxpayer-funded college education, et cetera. But what you say, the way you say it, is the character of the government. The people will either flourish or you say they will suffer. We do suffer. Those elections do matter.
The elections matter, and what the negative power crowd has done, which is basically, I call the Democrat Party exercises soft negative power, unlike, the genocidal regimes, but they borrow the ideology of the hard negative power crowd, the Marxes and Hegels and others. I won't get into the weeds, but the point is this: it is a relentless assault on our Constitution. What I call it is the deconstitutionalization of our society. And to put it in two words, what they represent is authoritarian democracy. Your example, the vote. If Kamala Harris had won, she would have won the vote, but she's authoritarian. That's the ideology. And so voting does not ensure liberty. Democracy does not ensure liberty. the proper application of power ensures liberty. So authoritarian democracy, again, is what this Mondami is really running on, an all-powerful government. It's what the Democrats believe in. The government should control everything. The government should control healthcare, housing, you name it. The government steps in and handles it. That's authoritarianism. There's nothing about the people and sovereignty at all about that. So you have a relative handful of people and a permanent government making decisions. So, but you go through the motions. So you vote. You go through the motions. So you have an electoral college. But the trajectory is towards centralized government, massive bureaucracy, taxation, redistribution of wealth. And there's no limit because they don't give us a blueprint of where they want to take us, because there's no limit on the amount of power they want to accumulate.
I actually took notes because you said it so succinctly at different times during the books, and I would extrapolate out different things that you're communicating, because I really want the viewers at home to fully understand the philosophical underpinnings. And you rightly talk about, this goes back, you know, from civilizations, and you go deep into the founding, our founders, our framers, our declaration, our constitution, but also the philosophical underpinnings and the great philosophers that were behind a lot of this. It's very educational for anybody. You're going to love this book. But I'm just going to say what you say on power. It determines your personal fate, the fate of your community, the fate of your nation. Power matters in every aspect of one's life. The American Revolution is important and an obvious example of power properly pursued and exercised. And then you go, and history is replete with examples of tyrants grabbing power, all in the name of liberty. We're having, America is having this debate in real time. That's why I say rip from the headlines. This is a real debate. New Green Deal, Mamdani, Kamala Harris, you know, Joe Biden, open borders, you know, cradle to grave, womb to the tomb, to each according to their need, from each according to their ability. All of this comes to my mind as I'm reading this book.
And I have a chapter on language. For positive power, language is important. We learn, we share knowledge, we try to persuade, we can keep our government in check. It's the communal, the people communicating with each other freely, new ideas, different ideas. Maybe a minority idea becomes a majority idea. Free speech is critical. But for negative power, the people of which you speak, they want conformity. They want true believers. They want compliance because they don't believe in individual liberty. They don't believe in individual pursuits, which is why they're constantly attacking capitalism.
No, bingo. I see y'all jumped in when he started talking about language. Yo, you spot on, Red Sigma. I'll be talking about that too, like the manipulating language in a power grab. And you hit it right on the head. DNC soft genocided the black community, pushing deletion as healthcare. Spot on. All right, so y'all guys are listening. Yeah, let's go back to them talking about language.
Or billionaires or millionaires or anybody else they don't like. So even though we engage this ideology at a surface level, what I'm saying in this book is we need to engage it at a more fundamental level and explain to people that fundamentally we believe in liberation of the individual. We believe in the pursuit of the individual. The government that was set up by our framers is exquisite. The world has never seen anything like it. And what is it that the other side's peddling? Ancient, primitive, barbaric ideology that claims that a relative handful of people, that somehow God has anointed them to make all these decisions for us. What we eat, where we eat, what we drive, and then they pretend that they have the power that God has over the climate, over the weather, over all these things. And language is key. But for them, language is thought control. Let's look at wokeism, which I mentioned in the book. What's that all about? Controlling thought, controlling language, pushing us more in their trajectory. You'll destroy somebody's career. You'll destroy their life. You'll give them a scarlet letter. Word control. New words you must learn and use. Old words you must redefine.
I can't keep up with all the letters. I can't. Who can keep up with it?
But the whole goal is to control thought and to prevent free thinking, independent thinking, which is what you and I support, which is what makes society so strong. So,
yeah, we've been saying that shit since season 1. What's with all the new words? What's with cis? What? Yeah, all the pronouns. It's thought control. Yeah. I didn't listen to this clip all the way through. I seen it was Mark Levin. He's usually doing some intense legal breakdown of something that's going on from the standpoint of the Constitution. I got Quiet Storm sent me this clip. No, this one was really good. This is almost like a political thought class at university, something similar. Yeah, Levin unravels Democratic propaganda. This last part, what he's talking about with language, is spot on. We only got like a minute left of this. Let me play it out, and then we'll wrap for tonight. We're at the 2-hour, 25-minute mark. We did 2.5 hours. Not bad.
language control is thought control. They're into language control. That's what wokeism is all about. And they're into controlling economic parameters for people. They're into controlling you and me. So I always say, go back to the Declaration. What is the Declaration of Independence? We know what it is. Thomas Jefferson and others told us. He wrote the first draft. It's the fusion of the Judeo-Christian principles and belief systems with the Enlightenment. The Enlightenment is the earthly application. We are the sovereign. Now, what the other side tries to do, and the other side is evil, they try to pretend that they represent us, that they support the people, that they're doing things for the people. 100 million people have been slaughtered in the name of the people under Marxism. The People's Republic is neither for the people nor a republic. So what I do in my chapter on language, I say is we really need to pierce this. We really need to address this. We need to take our language back, and we need to unravel the propaganda that they use.
All right. Well played, Quiet Storm. Oh, yeah, you guys got it. Yeah, Brother Zeke. Cis, trans, what the fuck is that? Organic chemistry. This is the laid back that I've seen. Yeah, this is the most laid back you see, Mark Levin. Yo, that's a whole fact. That's a whole fact, though. He usually do be yelling. This is appalling. This is tyranny at its finest. The Constitution's yeah, this is the most laid back we've seen. Facts. Know your words, gents. Oh man. They beating you up with the autocorrect. They beat you up with the autocorrect, Irvin. All right, bet, guys. We are at the 2-hour, 27-minute mark. That gets us in around 2.5. Man, really good show tonight, man. I didn't expect it to go this far. Shout out to Quiet Storm with the 5 memberships, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you for every single one of you guys supporting the stream. Wow, we actually hit gold too. Honestly and truly though, shout out to Quiet Storm for for giving me the pep talk in Colombia, and helping me come up with the framework for doing the news desk. And thanks for everybody. Thanks for everybody. For popping up every night. I've been doing this. I'll be doing this like 5 days a week on the weekdays. Even been doing Saturdays until we replace Demon Time. So no, thank you guys for showing up and supporting the show. It was a random idea, and it appears to be quite popular. And I'm getting my reps in. A nigga who reads. Levin is doing a good job here, but the problem with him is that he is a Zionist extremist. I agree, 100%. For example, he's calling for a regime change in Iran. Such a move will cause World War III and will be a disaster. The regime, the Iran thing's a done deal, though. Trump took all of that off of the board with the military strike, which is, I will say once again, to Trump's credit, like Trump be on his four-dimensional chess player. He knows what Iran, what Israel's interests and the Zionist interests are. He's America first, so he took a lot of that extra conversation off the board. Like, okay, let's just knock out the nuclear plants, and you guys take care of the rest. But yeah, you are you are correct to a large extent about Levin being a Zionist extremist. I leave that where it's at. I really, Israel neither here nor there for me. Aside from that, when he whittles down on the Constitution, executive branch, etc., and the plays being played by the Democrats or what have you, his analysis is usually spot on. Israel, what are you gonna do? I think that all that being said, I think Trump did a good job at how do you say, neutralizing Netanyahu to some extent and the Israel lobby, while at the same time playing, making the moves and positioning himself on the board for a position that is most advantageous to the United States. Can't really be mad at it. Yeah, once again, man, honestly, thank you guys for coming and hanging out with me, man. It was actually a fun show tonight. Man, y'all be having jokes. So yeah, the news, MTV News Desk turned into a animal all its own, distinct from the Sunday show and the clip shows and everything else we do on the channel. So no, once again, thanks for supporting the stream. I will be back tomorrow for another News Desk. Man, like I always say right about now, and I want to say thank you, good night, and good luck.
Tomorrow's weather happened yesterday, so we're experiencing reverse precipitation. Rain will unfall upward into the clouds starting at 3 p.m.
We're getting reports that local resident Mike Johnson has discovered he's been the same NPC for 3 years, repeating identical conversations with neighbors.
As you can see, we have heavy cat precipitation moving through the Midwest. Expect 3 to 4 inches of tabby cats with scattered Persian showers.
We're seeing a high-pressure system of existential dread moving in from the west, with scattered anxiety showers and a 70% chance of emotional breakdown by evening.
Good evening, I'm Sarah Mitchell. Wait, why are there 2 of us? I think we're experiencing a rendering error.
In tonight's game, gravity was temporarily disabled in the third quarter, resulting in all players floating near the ceiling for approximately 12 minutes.
Traffic is backed up on the aerial highway due to a 3-car collision at cloud level 7. We're seeing delays of up to 20 minutes for commuters trying to reach the stratosphere.
And that concludes tonight's completely AI-generated news broadcast. None of this was real, but you watched anyway.
Sorry.
Hey, where's Stewie?
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. Okay, I don't know. Whatever it is, it's not right on the teleprompter.
There it is. We are going to do Sting, yeah.
There's no words there. To play us out. What does that mean, to play us out? To end the show?
Yeah.
All right, go.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today, and we'll leave you with a... I can't do it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live! Fuck it! Do it live! I'll write it, and we'll do it live! Fucking thing sucks!
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Stewie Griffin. Thanks for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.